So my idea is to do little triangle ears with the inside lined with this. I'm just gonna draw on here at the widest point that we can make it. And then this one, we gotta be careful with the nap because I want the ears pointing upwards, like the fur going up. So we're gonna do something bigger than this because I'm hoping like the seams will fold over. So in theory, this should work out. Something like that. So then that will go on here. When I stitch this, it's gonna raise these edges up, and I'm hoping that when I pull it inside out, it'll cause it to fold over, and then we'll just have a little bit of the accent of that. Okay. I'm purposely not doing the bottom because I'm gonna have to, if this works out, oh my God. Did I do this backwards? Oh my God, I sewed it together backwards. All right, well, I'm gonna turn it around anyway and see what happens, just to see if it, in theory, would work. That's not bad. I was wanting it to be kind of floppy, a little bit like this. Part of me is thinking it might be better just to do ears without the lining. Yeah, that looks a lot better. I think I might have to take a little lunch break and reassess. So what I'm thinking right now is I really like the size of these ears with this fur. So I'm gonna cut 2 pieces of the ears. And then I'm going to put the right sides of these pieces together like this. Tuck the fur in, pin it around, and then I'm just gonna sew from here to here. Okay. All right, that is 1 ear in the bag. This material that I got at the craft store is from this company called Pop, which I know I've seen like gift bags, I think, at Target from them. It's definitely a cheaper material, so I'm hoping it lasts. But let's flip this over and see. I think this looks pretty good. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna take a little bit of each side and stitch it in like this. That's an ear, look at that. I have to sew the second ear up. I have to sew the bottom parts of the ears together, and I'm basically just gonna overlap them like this and put a stitch at the bottom. Ears are ready to be put on to the head. I think I just need to find the placement of the ears, put pins on the far left and right sides, pull out the mouth palette, turn the head inside out, cut a straight line from pin to pin, and then sew this baby in. If I do, basically, I can put them out. That's kind of really cute, actually. I can do them really close together. That's like a bunny. Probably not too far forward. I kind of like that out facing because it looks like pigtails. That's adorable. I love her so much. And then I'm gonna place the eyes. What I'm gonna do is place a pin just straight down just to kind of hold that there. Where I think they're even, because I need to be able to hold this up and look at it. I pinned it down, but I'm gonna take those pins out and I'm just gonna put them in without pinning the ears to the body. So you can see I've used yellow to mark where those holes are gonna be. So it'll be from here to here and here to here. So then I'm gonna gently yank out the mouth plate and try not to pull any of the pins out with it. And I can see where the pins are stuck, so I'm pulling them out. You can't see it, but I'm kind of just looking inside here and pulling the foam away from the head. All right, there we go. Success. And then I need to carefully put this piece inside out so I can see my pins. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take new pins and switch the orientation. So I'm just gonna pin this one next to the one that was in there so that I have my little marker. Completely making this up as I go, by the way, so we'll see what happens. Let me get a measurement here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think they're about the same size. So I'm just checking to make sure the width of the ear is about the width of the pins, and I can see it's a little outside of it. Yeah, I think I can go 2 inches probably. And then I'll just make little markings, and then I can measure the 2 inches so I can pull those. Do like a little line. They do look pretty lined up for the most part, so I'll say that's within the realm of acceptance. So you can see there's my first line, and then here's my second line. Get my razor blade, and I'm gonna just slice it open. I have some leftover foam, so I'm just gonna stick that inside of the cutting area. Okay, foam's behind it. The weird thing is that I have to cut through a seam, so I don't love that. I just realized that on this side I'm cutting through a seam, but on this side I'm not, which means my measurement is actually off as far as being even side to side. This should be crossing over that line. This is gonna be it. I don't have any more room for lines, so. There's 1, there's 2. I like it. We're doing it. We're just gonna go for it. I'm gonna put some tension on there. Hopefully the seam doesn't immediately start splitting, but we can do some repair should it do that. It's kind of scary how easily this cuts. It really feels like I'm doing surgery. Okay, she's open. I'm gonna brush all the hair up so that it doesn't get caught as easily in the seam. And then the only other challenge is making sure the orientation is correct. So we've got the mouth here, which means that needs to get sewn towards the mouth. So that's the upper head. We're gonna stick her through. So I've stuck the ear through on the other side, keeping in mind what the orientation is. And now I'm gonna do what I did with the rest of the fur and pin this around, making sure that I'm not getting the fur sucked in, and then do a whip stitch around the whole thing. On second thought, I don't think I am gonna do a whip stitch because I realized there's too much edge here that I don't want to see when I turn it around. So I pulled it through further than I needed to, and I think I'm just going to do a stitch that runs all the way through these layers, and then it'll hide this mess right here a little bit better. Otherwise I'm gonna see this imperfection. And I also purposely made the ear a little taller knowing that I'd have to tuck it in. So I've got it tucked in, and then I'm going to just stitch a really tight stitch through 4 layers of fabric, and hopefully that'll look good. So I've already gone back and forth twice, so I'm going to try to do it one more time before my thread runs out. I am completely flying by the seat of my pants doing this. There's no way in my mind this is gonna work out. And I kind of feel like the sewing police is gonna come knocking at my door any minute. Let's see here, tie that up. That's an ear. It's a floppy ear, but it's an ear. Initial thought is it doesn't look too bad, and I think it'll stay in there, so that's good. All right, let's do the other side. Okay, ears are on. I also did a little bit of reinforcement around the two sides of the seam that I had to cut through. So I think that'll hold. It's not my prettiest work, but it'll all be hidden. You can see what those ears look like in here. Flipping that over, obviously there's no structure in here right now, but I think they look pretty decent.